Okay, so these are your windshield wipers and your 90-90. These are both for your hips and for your low back too. And I like to warm up for the 90-90 with the windshield wiper. So do the windshield wiper first and then 90-90 afterwards. So let me move the screen for you. Lay on your back. Lay on your back with your feet flat on the ground, your knees up in the air, and I like to put my feet maybe a little bit wider than hip width distance, and then you're just going to make sure your head's all the way down. I'm trying to talk to you on this video, that's why my head's up. So head on the ground, looking straight up, bring both of your knees to the left, to the right. These are all like lubricating exercises for your hip joint, right? So the more that you do of these, the easier it gets. The more windshield wipers you do, the easier your 90-90 will be. So did you notice that first tilt over to one side? Maybe your knee wasn't as close to the ground. And then once you're on like rep 10 or 11, your knee gets a little bit closer to the ground. So you're progressing throughout these windshield wipers. So I would do these first thing in the morning, maybe right when you wake up, or if you've been sitting at your computer a lot, or if you're, playing on the ground with your kids, why not do some mobility? So that's the beginner version of this. Next level would be up on your hands. So more in a seated position, feet still like outside of your hip width distance, and now still windshield wipering your legs, knees to the ground. So the reason why this is more of a intermediate exercise is because now there's more compression in your hip before doing the exercise. So now you're requiring more mobility. So if your knees aren't getting to the ground, don't worry about it. You're focusing on your hips right now. This feels awesome. So facing this way, when you're laying down, this is what the 90-90 or the windshield wipers should look like. And then from the seated position, this is what they should look like. Cool. So now that you're nice and warmed up with the windshield wipers, time for 90-90. So you want to create a 90-degree angle with your front leg and with your back leg. That's where it gets its name, huh? So even my front ankle is at a 90-degree angle, and my knee is at a 90-degree angle. My back leg, 90-degree angle. My ankle, 90-degree angle. Everything in 90 degrees. The reason you want to extend your foot like this is to protect your knee. And same on this side. So you want your butt to start out on the ground, and I like to hold on to my hip here, and you're basically turning it like a little doorknob. And you'll definitely feel it in the front of your hip. You'll even feel it in your butt. So one of the important aspects of this exercise is that you're not trying to go any further than like 2 inches. This is really only 2 inches back, 2 inches forward, 2 inches back, 2 inches forward. You're not trying to, extend and pick up your body in all kinds of you're not trying to go too far, because what we're focusing on is right here. 2 inches back, 2 inches forward. Let's say if that ever is too intense for you, you can always change it to 45-90. So back leg always is going to be 90 degrees, but you can bring your front leg to 40 degrees. So now you can call it 45-90. Back foot is still extended to protect my knee. And now my front leg is at 40 degrees, still extending my foot and turning your hip like a little doorknob. 2 inches back, 2 inches forward. Not a lot of movement. 2 inches back, 2 inches forward. This is super, this is the way that I sit. Let's say if I'm like playing with like my niece and nephew, or if I'm like playing with a dog, or if I have to sit on the ground, I sit in this position. I would rather sit in this 45-90 or 90-90 position than, this crisscross applesauce. Now you're not getting any mobility done. So you might as well sit in a way that's going to be helping your hips, especially if you're working at home. A lot of times I like to sit in this position, and then let's say sit in this position and like prop up your laptop right here, like up on your coffee table or your couch or whatever, and now you're doing mobility while you're working on the computer. Great.